And we're going to begin with alternate nostril breathing. So let's sit nice and tall. Start to close the eyes. You can rest your hands on your knees or thighs. Release your shoulders, release your jaw, and just breathe. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the smells around you. Notice any sensations in the body as you sit nice and tall. And start to set your intention, so get really clear on your intention for this practice, perhaps for the rest of your day. And on your next exhale, breathe that intention out into the world, into fruition. And you can slowly start to blink your eyes open. We're going to move into alternate nostril breathing. So to do this, we're going to bring our pinky and our thumb out. We're going to close our right nostril. We're going to inhale through the left. Close the left with your pinky and exhale out through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right and exhale out the left. Inhale. Close. And exhale. Close. And then breathe in. Closing off. Exhale out. Good. Breathe in. Close off. And exhale out. Good. Continue this at your own pace. Finding balance in the body. Good. If you're just joining, we're doing alternate nostril breathing. So you'll close one nostril, breathe in, and before you breathe out, you'll just close out through the other nostril. Good. 2 more full cycles of this. On your next exhale, let's bring our hand back down. Equal breath through both nostrils. Feel the difference. Notice the sensations within the nostrils now as you breathe in and out. Maybe the passageways are a bit more open, more clear. Good. And on your next exhale, let's just drop our chin down to our chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, back, chin up. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, front, chin goes down. Continue moving. Next time you get to the right side, let's go the opposite direction. Good. On your next inhale, come back to center. We're going to move on to all fours now. So hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Let's do some cat-cows. Inhaling up. And exhaling to round. I invite you to match your breath with the movement. And let your breath be loud. So whether your mouth is closed, your mouth is open, just let your breath be like a sigh out. Good. On your next exhale, let's come to a flat back. We're going to straighten that right leg, toes are tucked. And then just push through that heel, going back and forth on the ball of the feet. Nice calf stretch here. And on your next inhale, you can start to gently lift that right leg up. Foot is flexed. You could stay right here. There's nothing wrong with staying here. Or you can inhale your left arm straight. If you see me fidgeting, it's because I'm being eaten alive by bugs. Good. Reach, reach, reach. Breathe here. Engaging through your core. Good. And then we're going to exhale. Bring that hand down. Bring that knee down. Move the hips from left to right. Good. On your next inhale, we're straightening out through that left leg. Toes are tucked under. Really push down through your hands here. And then reach back with that heel. You can take some forwards and backs with the heel. You can stay stationary and just breathe. On your next inhale, that left leg might come up. Foot is flexed. And maybe that right arm reaches forward. Breathe. On your next exhale, we're bringing it all down. Good. If you need a break, you can come back into child's pose for a brief moment. Let's do that now, actually. Let everything go for a moment here. Breathe. And as we go through class, you're going to notice what I talked about in the beginning with this. I will call it tense and release. Working the body, tensing the body, so that the release is even more profound, the release is even more restorative. So we give the body opportunity to strengthen and then rest, strengthen and then recover. Good. On your next inhale, let's bring our head up, come back onto all fours. And then we're going to come into a plank, and you can come into modified plank here. I'm going to come into full plank, but if you're like, I need to rest, just drop your knees down, engage through your abdomen, and breathe. You can also have your feet up towards the sky, whatever feels good for you. We're just going to take 3 breaths here. I'm forgetting how to speak. Good. Deep breath in. Deep breath out through the mouth. Deep breath in. You got this. Deep breath out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Almost there. Deep breath out through the mouth. Good. On your next inhale, let's bring that right leg forward. We're coming into a lunge. You can bring that right arm up for a twist. Gaze up. Good, and on your next exhale, let's bring that right hand down. Let's bring that left knee down, and then let's just come up any amount. Good, you can bring your hands onto your knee. You can keep your hands down at your mat, or you can have them by your hips, whatever feels good. Just getting into this right hip. Breathe. I like to do a lot of pulsing moves, so sometimes that helps when the posture is a little intense. So feel free to just bounce the body a little bit. Good, and then on your next exhale, bring your hands down. We're gonna straighten through that right leg, toes come up, half split. You can drop your head. Good, on your next inhale, let's start to come forward. And we'll bring that right leg back, taking a brief child's pose here. You can open up your knees nice and wide and just rest your head for a moment. You might already feel your hips working, opening, which is like one of the greatest feelings ever. So really bask in that. And on your next inhale, we'll start to come up. We're gonna come into plank again. I'm right there with you, don't worry. You can come into modified plank, you can have your knees on the ground, or perhaps you come into a full plank. So on your next inhale, coming up, 3 breaths. Inhaling and exhaling out. Inhaling and exhaling out. Good. Inhale. You got this. Exhale out. Good. And then let's bring that left leg forward. We're coming into a lunge on the left side. Coming into a twist. Let's bring that left arm up. Gaze up. Breathe. You can have your knee on the ground, whatever feels good right now. Good. On your next exhale, bring that left hand down, right leg comes down. We're coming into a nice hip opener. So you can keep your hands down again or on the leg, whatever feels right. And just really sink down through those hips. You can close your eyes, deep breath in. Deep breath out. On your next exhale, bring those hands down. Walk yourself back, half split. hamstring stretch. Breathe into it. Drop your head. On your next inhale, let's slowly start to come forward. We're gonna bring that leg back. We're done with planks, don't worry. But we're gonna come into downward facing dog. So pushing through your hands, slowly start to lift your hips up. You can have a nice bend in your knees. Walk your dog, breathe. Good, come to stillness. And on your next inhale, we're gonna walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Let yourself go into this forward fold so you can hold on to opposite elbow, sway side to side, grounding through the four corners of your feet. On your next inhale, let's bring our hands down to the mat. We're gonna walk our feet closer to each other so that our toes are touching. We're gonna bend through our knees. We're gonna bring our hands up, chair pose. Most of the weight is in my heels. Gazing up or in front of you. Breathe. On your next inhale, let's rise all the way up. Gaze comes up. Exhale, bring your hands together down at heart center. Close your eyes, breathe. On your next inhale, arms come all the way up. Good, we're coming back into chair pose. Good, and then exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, we'll rise all the way up. Gaze comes up. Good, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, chair pose. Forward fold. This time, inhale halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, walk back into plank. From here, you can come into upward facing. And come back into downward facing. And we are just about done with our strength portion. So you're almost there for your rest. Breathing here in your down dog. Two more big breaths, sigh it out. One more. Good, and on your next exhale, let's walk our feet forward. We're gonna come down to sit. You can come into a yogi squat. Bring your hands together, pushing those knees out, extra wide. Breathing. You can take some circles here through your feet. So putting the weight back into the heels, around, forward. If that's in your practice, maybe going the other way. Good, and on your next exhale, we'll find a seat. We're gonna come into our more gentle poses now. The part you've all probably been waiting for. So we're gonna come into wide-legged forward fold. You can have your legs as far apart as you would like. You can even have them close, doesn't really matter, they can be together. We're just gonna move the fascia from underneath our seat. Inhale up, and exhale to fold forward. If you have props, you can bring them underneath your head to make this even more restorative. All up to you. Once you're there, just let your head go, let everything down. You deserve this rest. You worked hard for it. You're not glued to any pose, so if you feel like you need to bring the legs farther apart or closer together, go ahead and do that. Maybe you adopt a 4-counted breath where you inhale for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, pause for 4. On your next inhale, we're gonna slowly start to walk our hands back up. Good, and then you can actually lift your one thigh just to bend that knee. the other. Give your body a break. And then we're gonna come into a seated twist. So we'll fold that right leg, bringing this left leg over. And then as you inhale, we're bringing that right arm up. Exhale, bringing it down to that right knee and just twisting. Good, you can gaze behind you, breathe. Feel inside of your body detoxifying with this twist. Imagine a wet, I don't know how to speak anymore, a wet towel just being squeezed of all the excess fluid. And visualize that happening within your body right now. On your next inhale, let's bring that left arm up. Leave everything else where it is. Just get a little side stretch here. Good, exhale that arm down. Just twist over to the right, another opposite stretch. And then we'll come forward. We're gonna switch our legs. So left leg bends, right leg comes over. Breathe that right arm up. I always forget which arm to do with this. Hook the arm and exhale, twist to the right. Imagine, again, that you are squeezing out a towel. Maybe this side has a bit more fluid, excess fluid. Maybe it has less. Just notice. On your next inhale, that right arm's gonna reach up and over. You can gaze up at your bicep, breathe. Good, exhale, bring that arm down. We're gonna twist to the other side briefly. And come back to center. Let's unravel our legs. And we're gonna come onto our backs. Make your way onto your back. You can bring the soles of your feet together, have your knees fall to the side. Maybe you bring props underneath your legs. Maybe you don't, whatever works for you. From here, I like to have my arms above my head or just spread out nice and wide. Gotta make sure I'm not spreading them out on my dog's poo. So make sure you're doing that too. Let yourself release everything down. No effort, surrender, full surrender here. Maybe you breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 6. Good. One more full cycle of breath in and out. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your legs, fold them in. Good, and then bring your knees into your chest. You can rock side to side or take some circles. You can take a happy baby. On your next exhale, the knees are coming together. Breathe, bring them into your chest and then bring them over to one side. You can keep your hands over them. You can bring the opposite arm out to the side, gaze at that arm, breathe. On your next inhale, let's bring those legs up. Breathe, bring them into your chest and over to the other side. And you can gaze to the opposite side. I've been trying to combine words together, it seems, throughout this whole practice, but it doesn't work that way, brain. Good, let everything go. Release your shoulders. Good. On your next inhale, let's bring those legs back up. I'm just gonna straighten out through the knees, coming into legs up the wall. You can point and flex through your feet. All right. Good. And we're just gonna bring our right leg over our left, coming into a figure 4 here. Good, and then exhale to the other side. Left leg comes over. You can push that knee away. Good, and then as you're ready, just drop that foot down onto your mat. You can bring the other foot down and just start to straighten out through your legs. We're coming into our last pose, our Shavasana. So you can have your arms spread out nice and wide. You can have them overhead. You can have one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Whatever pose that your body needs to fully release and let go, that's the pose for you. So from here, just releasing all of the muscles in your face, your eyebrows, your jaw, your forehead, and down into your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Release your hands. Down into the chest, down into your belly. Release the belly, release the abdomen, release the hips. Let go of everything below the hips. Open, release through the root chakra, the sacral chakra. After all that hip work, feel that part of you just fully opened, fully letting go, fully releasing any stuck emotions that were living there. Releasing your seat, your glutes, your hamstrings, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your shins, your legs, and your feet. And give yourself permission to rest. Now that you've worked, now you restore. Let yourself restore here. option to stay here or start to come out of this. I will leave you here. I'm sending you peace and love and all of the goodness that comes from working the body and then relaxing the body. Keep this practice with you, keep this energy with you, bring it into your day, bring it into your life for yourself and for the world. Thank you, and I will see you next time.